welcome to another video. It's been quite a while and I apologize for that. I've been super busy with school and school and school. I don't really have any other excuse besides school, but I think college is kind of hard, so I hope that explains it. But I'm on spring break, so I'm going to be filming a whole bunch of videos for you guys, so then when I am really busy with school, I can post some videos that I think that you guys would really like. But I think first of all, we should probably talk about all the books that I've read while I was gone, because I read some pretty good books. I read quite a few, so I'm not going to go over all of them. If you want to see all of the books that I read over the time that I've been gone, you can go check my Goodreads, but I'm not going to talk about every single book, because if so, we would be here for like ever. I guess we'll just start off with what I read in January. One of the most really memorable books in January was The One and Only Ivan by Katherine Applegate. There is a really old book haul video on this channel of me hauling The One and Only Ivan by Katherine Applegate, and that was like maybe like a year and a half ago. So I have had this book for a really long time. I was kind of hesitant to pick it up because I was like, animals, I don't know if I'm going to like this, I don't know if it's going to be really good, so I just kind of picked it up and was like, fine, I have to read this. But I'm really glad that I picked it up because The One and Only Ivan made me cry. It's probably one of my favorite books that I've read this year. It's so cute and caring, and I know for sure I will read it to my students or my kids when I get older, because honestly it was great. I loved it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Another really memorable book that I read in January was the 4th volume of Saga. I don't really have that much to say about it besides the fact that it was awesome and I need more. I really need to stop reading these like quickly, because I finish them and I'm like, wait, when's the next one come out? And then I find out, and then it just makes me want to cry because, you know, time. Why you gotta do that, time? I gave the 4th volume of Saga a 4.75 stars. It was amazing! Then I read The Fences Between Us by Kirby Larson, and this was a Dear America book, and I don't know if any of you guys read Dear America books when you were younger, but they're just like diaries that follow girls in like pivotal parts of history in America, and this one was about a girl who is growing up during the time when World War II kind of starts, and she lives in a predominantly Japanese part of California, and then World War II starts and she's living as like her friends that are Japanese are starting to be treated differently and all that kind of stuff, and it's really interesting. I think that I would have enjoyed it a lot more if I read it when I was younger. There are some books that are like timeless and I can read, like they're meant for little kids, but I can read them at any time in my life. But then there are some that I just kind of look at them and I'm like, I liked it, but I know that I would have enjoyed it a lot more when I was younger, and this was one of those. I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars because it was really interesting, but I don't know if Dear America books are really things that I want to put my time into, because there's a lot more mature literature that I think that I would probably enjoy a lot more. Another graphic novel that I read was Alex and Ada by Jonathan Luna and Sarah Vaughn. My sister has been really in love with graphic novels recently, so any of the graphic novels that I talk about here, it's probably because I heard about it from her. Alex and Ada is set in the future where people have like these type of android things that they can have to like be around their house and help them out, and Alex doesn't really want one, but then I believe his grandma or his mom buys him one, and he's just kind of like, I don't know what to do with her, and then like things ensue, and I don't really want to give too much away because it's a graphic novel and it's not very long, so yeah, I don't really know what else to say, but it's really good. I ended up giving it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I think for the first volume, I just had a really hard time with the fact that we were introduced to this idea, but it didn't really go very far. But apparently, my sister says in the second volume, which she has read, it gets a lot better. So I'm really looking forward to figuring out where this story goes. Then I read The Spectacular Now by Tim Tharp, and I really chose this one because everyone and their mom had been talking to me about the movie, and I don't know why, because it's not necessarily a newer movie, but it had just caught my eye, and I wanted to read the book first. It's really interesting because I didn't really enjoy it that much. I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. I just had a really hard time connecting with the main character, but then I watched the movie and everything made sense. I didn't really want to change my book rating because the movie wasn't necessarily the same thing to me. I don't know. They were different. I enjoyed the movie a bit better, which was a little frustrating, but I still think I'm glad that I read it because there were a couple of things that I had to sticky note. And then we'll move on to what I read in February. In February, I read a book called Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson, which was a very interesting book because it was a memoir written in verse. I really liked the way that Jacqueline Woodson described her own life. I think it was really entertaining in the way that she did it. I also really enjoyed reading about another girl of color because, you know, I don't really get that opportunity a lot. I ended up giving this book a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was really interesting to read, and I think you should pick it up if you are interested. One of the final books that I read in the month of February was Let's Get Lost, and this book was one that I was really excited about. I thought that it was going to be my favorite book of the year because it just sounded so interesting. This book is about a girl named Leela, and it follows Leela as she's on a road trip to go see the Northern Lights, and Leela is not the main character until the last section of the book, but I believe in between that there are 5 people who just meet Leela and you see it from their perspective and you see how they change her life, and that seemed like something that would be so exciting to me, but when I actually started reading I realized that it was not my cup of tea. I felt like the characters were written in really non-memorable way. Some of them were whiny. I just didn't really connect with any of them besides Leela, but by the time it got to Leela's section, I didn't really care anymore. I ended up giving this book a 2 out of 5 stars, which was a little disappointing because I had such high hopes for it. Like I said, in this upcoming week, I'm going to be filming a whole bunch of videos for you guys, so then I don't have a big hiatus like I did this past month. If you have any ideas for videos that you would like to see, leave them down in the comments and I will be there conversing with you. I hope all of you are having a wonderful booktastic day and I will see you in my next video. Bye!